Are you looking for a quick, easy, and delicious dessert that's not going to break the bank on bites, points, and calories, and that you can also serve to guests? Well, I've got the perfect solution for you here. These are my mini lime tarts, adapted from a recipe I found in a WW cookbook. But if lime isn't your thing, I'll also tell you how you can change the flavor to something you might prefer. So if you'd like to see how these are done, stick around because it's coming up next. Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Roy. I'm a home cook and amateur baker, and I'm here on this channel sharing recipes that have helped me to lose over 125 pounds, whether those recipes are mine or someone else's. Now today is one of mine, kind of. I am adapting a recipe that I found in this My WW program cookbook. My brother Dan gave me this, so you can see I've been looking through trying to find some recipes to do. And I came across one for mini tarts. They are key lime mini tarts, but I'm gonna change things up and make it my own. Their version came out to 2 points each, and I'm gonna bring that down a little bit, but we'll go over that later. I am just going to adapt it, make it my own, and this is just for my mini lime tarts. So let's go over the ingredients. I have here some phyllo pastry shells. These are just the store brand, but this is like the little cups that you get. Now each one of these is 0 bites, 0 blue points. I'm not sure on their current plan of WW, I'm not sure what that would be. It's probably around there somewhere, but it's 0 for 1. So that definitely makes these worth trying. Here I have 6 ounces of my light homemade cream cheese, and that is a departure from what WW did in their cookbook because they used 4 ounces of that low-fat Neufchâtel, however you pronounce it, cheese. I didn't want any bites or points to come from that if I could help it. And then they thinned it out a little bit with some Greek yogurt. But since my light homemade cream cheese is made from Greek yogurt, and it's a little softer than those bars you would get in the supermarket, I am not thinning it down with any yogurt. I'm just using 6 ounces of the light homemade cream cheese. Here I have 3 tablespoons of sugar replacement, and you could use the powdered also if you prefer, but I'm using the all-purpose in the raw. That's the one I generally use, and if I really wanted to, I could grind this down to a powder, but I think it should incorporate just fine. Here I have 2 tablespoons of lime juice, and that is from 1 lime that I also zested. And here you can see I have the zest of that lime, which is about 1 tablespoon. And I have it divided because part is gonna go into the filling and part's gonna be decoration on the top, as well as a little extra flavor. Here I have 2 tablespoons of toasted sliced almonds, and that is their recommendation. You could easily do without them, and it would actually drop the bites and points on these even more. But I'm adding them in here for a little bit of texture, make them a little more decorative. But I actually think, because this is the first time I'm making these as I'm making them, I think that's actually gonna be more than enough. You could probably even drop it to 1 tablespoon, but I'm sticking with the 2, and it's still not bad on bites, points, and calories. And here I have 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. In their recipe, they called for 3/4 of a teaspoon, but I wanted to bump up the lime flavor and not mute it with any vanilla. But those are all of the ingredients. We don't even have to really cook anything, but I do have to shuffle a few things around, and then we'll get started. Okay, so I've transferred my cream cheese to a larger bowl, and as far as the phyllo shells, you don't even have to bake them. They are already baked. I just took them out of the freezer and let them thaw. Now, it is recommended that if you're not going to eat them all, like at a party or what have you, then you might want to fill them just before serving. So I may not fill them all because I don't want the shells to get soggy. If they sit for too long with the filling in there, the moisture in the filling will absorb into the phyllo shells. So it's best to fill these just before you're serving them. but I'm only going to do a few for Paul and me, and I'm going to save the rest in the fridge for whenever we feel like having another. And I will show you how I'm going to store the filling, but if you just put it in a bowl, that's fine as well. But to the cream cheese, I'm going to add sugar replacement, lime juice, half of the lime zest, and vanilla. And then I'm just going to blend that up. Now I blended that only for about a minute, but I wanted to make sure that everything was well incorporated and give that sugar replacement a little time to dissolve in here. Then I'm going to grab, I have over here a pastry bag, and I'm going to use a pastry bag to fill these, but you could use a spoon if you want. You don't have to get too fancy. But I'm going to use a pastry bag. You could also use like a zip top bag and just cut one of the corners off to fill these. I'm going to bring back in my spatula and just stir this around a little bit. And then the easiest way to fill a pastry bag or even a zip top bag is to take a tall glass and sit this inside, fold the edges over, and then press your fingers down inside to open it up. And then you have something holding that, so you don't have to try to juggle too many things at one time. To this, I'm going to transfer our filling. Then I'm going to remove the bag from the glass carefully so we don't knock over the glass. And then just shake the bag to get the contents down in there. And then you want to twist at the top so when you are filling it, things don't squeeze up out of the top. But let me move this glass out of the way, bring in my phyllo shells. Now, for some reason, phyllo shells come in 15, so that is what this is going to be counted as, 15 servings. Now, one of the problems with filling them as you go along is you're not sure how much filling you're going to have left. If I filled them all right now, it would be easy enough. But I'm just going to basically fill them to the top and then go from there. So I'm going to take the pastry bag and I'm going to cut the tip off. And I want to cut so that there's a wide enough hole that I'm not just squirting out little strings of the filling. Then I'm going to turn this over, squeeze that in, and then I'll just do the 4 for now. I'm going to shake the bag down a little bit to get that filling back in there, and then press to get that down. Fold the top over a little bit and put a little clip on the end so that will hold the hole closed. And I'm going to do the same thing up here at the top with the bag still twisted. I'm just going to clip that. Now I can store this in the fridge and just pull it out when we want some. But for this, I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit of the lime zest to really enhance that lime flavor, and some of the almond slices. And as I said, I'm not sure I'm going to need the whole 2 tablespoons. I probably could have gotten away with 1, but I'd rather err on the side of caution. But that's all there is to it. Quick and easy, nice little dessert. If you're having company come over, then this is great. Fill them all up, garnish them so they look fancy, and then you set them out on your table. Now, you don't have to do lime. I am going to suggest you could do lemon and maybe blueberry instead of the almonds. You could do orange and maybe some chopped up chocolate chips, some sugar-free chocolate chips. Something like that would be good as well. So it doesn't have to be lime if that's not your thing. Now I know this is probably one of my quicker videos, but I hope that you enjoyed this quick little treat that was great for company or for yourself if you just want to have a little splurge. But it's really not much of a splurge. The nutrition facts on this are great. As I said, in the WW Cookbook, they had it for 2 points. I got it down to 1 Better Balanced Bite or Old Blue Point, and that is with the almonds. If you remove the almonds, each one would be 0. Obviously, if you had more than that, you would start to get bites and points, but it's low enough that just 1 would be 0 without the almonds. So if you did a lemon blueberry, it would be 0. If you did the orange and chocolate, it would probably be still at 1 because you'd use a little bit of the sugar-free chocolate and that would add to the bites or points. Now, if you're following calories, the calories for one of these is 34. And if you are following macros, the fat is 1 gram. Saturated fat is 0.1 grams. Protein is 2 grams. Carbs are 6.4 grams. fiber is 0.2 grams, and sugars are 1.8 grams for one of these delicious little treats. But I hope that you enjoyed this recipe and this video, and if you did, I'd appreciate the usual like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that notification bell for the next time I upload any sort of video, such as tomorrow, 2 p.m. Saturday, I am going to be going live as I do every other week. This is the week that I'm going live, so hopefully I will see some of you there, but you can be notified if you just hit that bell. Now, since I adapted this recipe to make it my own, I am going to be sharing it on my blog. I will link directly to the recipe down in the description box. There's also a link to the blog itself if you're looking for any of my recipes. And speaking of recipes, there is also a link for my cookbook that you see back there. It has done really well. I'm very happy with all of the kind comments, sharing of photographs in the Facebook group that you have been making things. So it really does make me feel great to be part of your journeys. Also down there are my 2 stores, my Fourth Wall store and my Zazzle store. If you are able to support the channel by purchasing an item, there are aprons such as this one. There are mugs, there are planners, there are calendars for the upcoming year, all sorts of things. So hopefully you can pick up a little something there and help support the channel. Also, there is a link to my Amazon storefront. If I've used anything here, such as the pastry bags, that you're interested in finding, it may be there. And also, my social media is there. My Instagram and a few Facebook groups that I'm part of. So check out the description box for all sorts of information. So now I'm going to serve up our little treats for Paul and me, and I bet they're going to be delicious. I hope you'll be trying them yourself very soon. So until next time, bye.